This is a very special episode dedicated to the fathers. We have Shola behind the camera.
Hello everyone.
So Shola is going to be asking me a few questions and I'm supposed to answer them genuinely. Honestly. So I'm supposed to answer them honestly. And I don't know what the questions are, and I'm hoping that they are not too intense. At the same time, I'm hoping that I'm able to answer sincerely and not perfectly, but sincerely. And yeah, happy Father's Day. Shola, please go on.
Alright, so my first question is, do you miss your dad?
Do I miss my dad? Yes, I do miss having a father in my life, right? Because I see how people's father treats them, and then I'm like, it would be really nice to have a father. I see how much support people's father give to them, and I see how much their fathers are willing to go for them. And it's not just financially right now. I remember in school, I used to have this friend where if she needed her dad to come and pick her up from the hostel to take her to his place, her dad wouldn't mind. The man will drive from his house to come pick his daughter up to take him to her house. So that's the kind of father. Like, and I'm like, I don't have that, but I see those little things that the fathers do to their children, and I know that those of us without.
Did you go to a boarding school?
Did I go to boarding school? Yes, I did.
Oh, that man. Yeah. So, did you feel that if your dad would have been alive, if he was alive, you wouldn't have gone to boarding school?
Oh, okay. So this particular experience I spoke about with my friend was when we were in university.
Right.
So yeah, so it's like, and then.
That is when you're already grown up.
Yes,
You see the void.
Yes, of course. Like the void. People think that when you're healing, you're going to heal, and then the void is going to be filled up. No, I think we just become used to living with the void. The void never goes because there's no father. Like, it doesn't change the fact that there's no father. You just become accustomed to not having a father. Do you get? So yeah, but let's stick to fathers. Fathers are like the star of the day. So my father was alive when I was going to boarding school, right? So it was like a tradition. Every child that I had, all of us went to boarding school. Every single one of us went to boarding school. So that was like a tradition, right? Yeah. So one thing I think that people with fathers are really enjoying is they support the father. Their fathers give them, especially as a woman. There's this self-awareness. It's not even awareness now. It's this knowing that your father has your back. Knowing that your father supports you, it gives you this confidence that nobody can take away from you. Like, I've seen my sister-in-law now, like what she's doing, she makes wedding dresses and all of that. And when she was telling me her story, she was telling me how when she was young, her father she would be painting, her father was supportive. She started a business in her house. Like, everything was just working together for the good of those who love the Lord. Or let me rephrase, for the good of those who have fathers.
That's really.
So it's wonderful, and it's really wonderful. I'm not going to lie. So yes, I do miss my dad. I miss my dad.
All right. So we have different kinds of fathers out there. We have the disciplinarian, we have the non-supportive one, we have the supportive fathers. We have people that are fathers that just believe their main goal is to provide financially for their children. They don't provide emotional support. What do you think about that?
I think from the little I knew my dad, and I think that might have been a little standard I have raised, and that's my dad was an involved man. He might not come to your school doing PTA, but I remember when my elder brother was doing there was a time where now he's a fashion designer, but there was a time he was doing music, right? My dad didn't used to listen to secular music, but the only secular music he had on his phone was my brother's song. So he listened to every single thing. Was my daddy a disciplinarian? No. He was loving. He was the kind of man that he doesn't beat. If he beats you, you must have done something very bad. Like, you must have done the worst of the worstest. I'm not joking. The best my dad will do he scolds you with, don't be silly. Once he says that, don't be silly, you will cry from you will cry from morning till night, because that felt like that you must have done something stupid to warrant that don't be silly. Right. And that's because my dad wasn't the kind of person who would beat you. Wasn't. My mom was that. Yeah. But my dad wasn't the kind of person who would beat you. My dad was involved in the best way that I could. I sort of have issues when fathers are being tough. Right? Like being tough, because at the end of the day, what gives us confidence in female children, what helps us choose better partners, is usually the relationship we have with our dad.
Oh, yeah, that's actually very valuable.
So if I have a very good relationship with my dad, my standards will be high, because I cannot be treated like a princess in my father's house, and then you will now come and be treating me like a do you get? So it's like, so I think yeah. I'm not going to lie, I've forgotten your question, but I'm hoping that I answered the question.
Yes. Moving on from what you just said about the standard with your partner.
Yeah. It's supposed to be about fathers, so don't.
I understand.
All right.
Many girls nowadays are not family oriented, and I think it's because of what you have mentioned.
What do you mean by not family oriented?
None of them are seeing the future in making a family.
How do you mean?
Okay, let's put it this way. You said if you were being treated as a princess in your father's house, you cannot
come and be treating me like a bag of shit.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Many girls still stay in abusive relationship because they don't have a father figure to set the standard.
Yeah, that's true. And that's very true, right? As much as we have very loving fathers, there are also fathers that are not present in their children's life. Regardless of the gender now, we have fathers that are not there for their sons, who wants their son to be men, right? So in the sense of making the sons men, the sons become toxic men. Toxic men, because so like they become toxic men and then begin to show off a certain side of masculinity that doesn't respect the feminine gender. If a woman finds a father as a most precious gem, or like if a woman has a father who adores her, she will not settle for a toxic man. And also, if a woman has a father who adores his wife, because she has seen how a father treats her, she has seen how a father treats her mother, there is no way she will settle for less. So now when women now begin to like settle for toxic men, it's usually because of they've seen how their father treats their mother. Subconsciously, it has registered that love is hard and love is toxic. Love is not smooth. Love is not soothing. So that's
all right. That's very profound. That's very, very profound. And to all fathers out there, the children, they don't really need your finances. They need your emotional support. They need your
definitely. And I think one of the reasons, so many things that I remember about my dad were not about the money he gave, or in fact, I don't have any memory of him giving me money. I do not have any memory of money in any way when it had to do with my dad. The things that I remember are moments. I remember there was another time when. Are you yawning? Yeah.
Go on.
I remember when there was another time when there's this thing parents say that if you are running late for church, Mama Jaele.
Yeah.
That means that in English, what it means is when your parents are going to church and you are not ready, by the time that they are leaving the house, they will leave you behind. So that particular day, my dad already told me that if I am not ready by the time he's going to church, he's going to leave me behind. I did not believe it. That day, I remember running behind my dad's car with singlets. I was young, so I'm sure it did not matter then.
Yeah, with singlets.
But now I was with singlets and pants, and then I think I was running with the clothes in my hand. We were living in Ilorin then, so we're going to evening service. So I was running behind the car. Right, so I'm just trying to say that the memories we remember are not really about money. And then I also remember times when myself, my mom, and I think my siblings will go to my dad's office to eat in his office whenever he's working during the weekends. Not every time, but once in a while. So those moments had nothing to do with money. It had to do with my father being there. It had to be with the fact that we were able to be together and like spend time together as a family.
Last question. What advice do you have for people at the void of the father figure? What advice do you have for them? Someone that has experienced healing from that.
I'm still healing. And I think the older I get, the more I feel the void. I'm not going to lie. Like, except you want me to lie, guys. I'm supposed to give advice, I get, but at the same time, let's be real, you know. I still feel the void, and I think like I said, I think the older I get, the more I feel the void. So, the advice I would give is, one, stop trying to look for a father figure to fill that void. Because nobody can fill that void. The void is already there. Nobody on earth can fill the void. And my second advice would be something that God recently told me through a friend, and that was, relax, I am your father. So, truth is, nobody can fill that void. Stop trying to look for love that would make that part of you whole. Is never going to be whole. I'm sorry. But I'm sorry for the bad news. But it's never going to be whole. I mean, through God, you know, it can be whole, but that's the only way it can ever be whole. No other thing will ever make it whole. Nothing. Like, nothing in this world, nothing in this earth will make it whole. So yeah, admit it, take it in, and it's fine, right? He was your father. He is your father. It's just that it's late. It's just that he's not there anymore, but he's still your father. So that void will be there, right? And if you can, lean into the love that you have presently, you know? Key into the people that are around you, that are willing to give you the support that they can. Appreciate your friends. I'm big on friendship, especially friends that love you with the whole of their heart. I'm big on friendship. So take advantage of those that you have right now. That's pretty much from me. Shall I know that question? You already said last question.
Yeah, I already said last question. So this video is made in appreciation
to all fathers.
To all fathers, and to show you that you not being there, what it could create, and we are just trying to show you.
You are talking behind the camera, though, but go on.
Yeah, but they can see my question.
Yes, they can.
All right. So,
what he's trying to say is, fathers, we want you to know that your impact is being felt, even when.
She says it's better. Go on.
Even when we do not express it as much as we should, we want you to know that we appreciate you. We want you to know that if we do not have you in our lives will not be the same, both to the sons and daughters. You, from us, you make us believe in ourselves. You make us know that there's no limits. You make us see what love should be like. We see the world through your eyes, through how you treat us. So thank you so much, fathers, and happy Father's Day to you and yours. And to the fathers who are no longer here, we send flowers to them and still appreciate them. Gracias. Bye, guys.
Wonderful.